All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim, Akakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Alright, and what I want to get into this morning, is dealing with how righteousness is mocked. Righteousness is mocked in this society. Esau, Edom, the devil has created an atmosphere of rebellion, okay, against righteousness. That's why the scriptures say that there are many anti-messiahs. Okay, people talk about, what they call the antichrist, as if this one figure, this charismatic, nigga that's gonna pop up at the end, and get the world to follow him. No, Esau already has the majority of the world following him. Okay, majority of the world is already enchanted, okay, by the devil. Okay, and his wickedness, man, and his rebellion. You know, even if they see, faults within the system, they still worship the ideology. They do as I will. Okay, the tech worship of the technology. Okay, most of the world is in that spirit. You see, and righteousness is mockery. Okay, is made to be mocked. Okay, so this devil has created a society that's rebellious and anti-Messiah. So as we come and we're being conformed to Yahweh Shai, well, we stand out, okay, and we are looked at as a problem. Righteousness is a problem in the wicked kingdom. Okay, Esau look at righteousness as something that should be X'd out. And that's why with this new world order in his mind, he thinks he's gonna X out, all right, righteousness forever. Okay, and he's gonna be, all right, he's gonna set the standard forever of what's wrong and what's right according to him. Okay, so let's go here to the book of Isaiah 59 and 15, and it says, "Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment, man." Okay, so the Lord is displeased that righteous judgment doesn't go forth, because as we turn back to righteousness, we make ourselves a prey, a target in this society. To become you stop doing, the traditional black culture things, going to the Christian church, which is paganism, eating abominable foods, celebrating abominable holidays. Well, immediately you become extreme to your family. It's like you did something extreme. You follow the Bible. Oh, you extreme. The devil has it to where you follow the Bible, you're extreme. You rehearse the righteous acts to the best of your ability. The world looks at you like you are extreme. Like you just some type of crazy fanatic. Okay, for applying a few laws of the Bible to your life, because we can't even do nowhere near all of them, but the few that we keep, the few laws that we keep, okay, the customs that we keep, the righteousness that we follow the scriptures, man, and people act like we're just off the rocker, man. Okay, but meanwhile, your presidents and politicians and celebrities are all Satanists, pedos, okay, moles. You see, children are literally being, unalive and sacrificed. And these are the people that you're going to vote for. You see, but we stop celebrating Christmas, and then we're the extremists. You see, we're fanatic. We're radical. We stop eating ham. That's radical amongst our people, man. Amongst this world, man, you have a standard in righteousness, and you know. And the Lord look at that and he displeased that his people that's following him are being treated like that. And that's why the Lord is speeding this thing up, because he finna intervene, man. The Lord displeased at that, man. Okay? You know, that you have his people to the best of their ability following him. Okay? And people, the reaction of this world, that's displeasing to the Father. Okay? That's why he's wrapping this thing up. You see, Yahweh Shai is coming to set everything right. Okay? So you keep reading in the book of Isaiah 59, it says, and he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. Let's read this in NLT. He was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed, so he himself stepped in to save them with a strong arm, which is Yahweh Shai, and his justice sustained him. Okay? So Yahweh Shai is getting ready to intervene in this situation, man. This is a real jacked up situation, man. To where you got to tiptoe around the earth to be righteous, man. But wickedness is celebrated, glorified. It's given money, awards. You know? But righteousness is mocked. Righteousness, you know, is demonized. Okay? Verse 17. He put on righteousness as his body armor, and placed a helmet of salvation on his head. He clothed himself with a robe of vengeance, and wrapped himself in a cloak of divine passion. So this Yahweh Shai, he's coming to intervene, man. Okay, Yahweh Shai is coming to what? Wage war in righteousness, man. Okay? You see, Yahweh Shai is going to make it to where righteousness is a standard in the earth, not a mockery. Okay, righteousness is not going to be ridiculed in the kingdom to come. Okay, he's not going to have to tiptoe and be righteous in the kingdom to come. No, that's going to be, all right, the standard. Okay, righteousness is going to be the baseline in the kingdom. You see, Revelation 19 and 11, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and this is Yahweh Shai on that chariot. And he that sat upon him, Yahweh Shai, was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. You know, and he's coming back with vengeance, man. What has been done to his people, because you devils have taken it too far. All right, and especially, you know, as the elect is repenting and turning back. Okay, and the way that this devil, all right, is going to try to do the elect, man, and even, you know, he's going to be able to martyr a few. Okay, but that's going to invoke Yahweh Shai. All right, whenever we get to the point where, you know, believers are being martyred, Yahweh Shai is right at the door to avenge their blood. Okay, and he's coming back to wage war in righteousness, man, so righteous judgment can proceed in the earth forever, man. Okay, so when you go back to Isaiah 59, you see, Yahweh Shai is coming back with that vengeance, man, with that anger. You see? And all we have to do is just keep doing the right thing, man. Even under the threat of death, man. Keep doing the right thing. Our forefathers, they did the right thing even though their life was on the line. You know? Some of them, all right, were delivered. Okay, the Lord worked a miracle, and some of them took the death, man, in righteousness. They died with their integrity, man. All right, those 7 Hebrew brothers, their mother, okay, Eleazar. Okay, no matter what, you know, the consequences is, man, hey, we're being groomed to do right, man, to stay faithful to our power. Okay, you're going to intervene. All right, well, then the miracle of giving us a spirit to go through with the death. And this time we're going to be raised up quickly. It's going to be a quick nap. You know, the really death, the martyrs of Yahweh Shai is just going to be a quick nap. You see, you're going to be in the spirit world for a brief moment. Okay? Before Yahweh Shai return. You see? It says he put on righteousness as his body armor, and placed the helmet of salvation on his head. He clothed himself with a robe of vengeance, and wrapped himself in a cloak of divine passion. He will repay his enemies for their evil deeds. His fury will fall on his foes. He will pay them back even to the ends of the earth. And that's over here in the west. He will even pay them back even to the ends of the earth. You see? And that's why you go here to Isaiah 63. It calls out a nation. Isaiah 63:1. Who is that coming from Edom? See? The nation of Edom. You Edomites, man. Okay, the Lord has fury reserved for you Edomites, because you the one that set this atmosphere for people to be so rebellious against the Most High and Yahushua. Okay? You set this rebellious standard in the earth, man. Okay? Who is that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength? I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, man. That's Yahushua. You see? So he's coming to deal with you Edomites, man. In this system that you set up. Yahushua is coming to destroy all this, man. You know? He's coming to destroy your world, Okay? All the works shall be burnt thereof. It shall be and all the works thereof shall be burnt up. You know, going into 2 Peter 3rd chapter, man. Okay, everything that you establish is going to be consumed in fire, man. Even this ideology, this rebellious, wicked ideology, man, it's finna be rooted out of the earth, man. Where righteousness is mocked and ridiculed, that's finna be rooted out the earth, man. Okay, the earth is going to learn righteousness. We're going to be perfected, so we're going to have righteousness in us, man. Righteousness is going to flow from us, man, as a people. Okay? Yahushua going to set his people back up in power to be that constant righteous example in the earth. Okay? And these heathens, they're going to have to be chastened for 1,000 years, man. Esau, he going to be punished. He going to be done away with after that 1,000 years. Okay? But these heathens, they have to be punished and chastened, okay, to instill righteousness in the earth, man. You know, and after Esau kingdom, the earth is going to appreciate righteousness, man. After being in the kingdom of Esau, the earth is going to appreciate righteousness, man. Okay? It said, wherefore art thou red, and thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. And this is just symbolic of a slaughter. You see? So the Lord said what his arm is going to judge righteous for him. So Yahushua is coming to set righteous judgment in the earth, man. And it's going to come with a lot of deletions, a lot of unaliving, man, a lot of slaughtering. And that's going to be righteous judgment going forth, man. All right, which is overdue. You see? It says, I have tried the winepress alone, and the people of the people there are none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeem is come. So Yahushua is coming to make everything right, man. He's coming to set everything in his righteous order. Okay? Because this is the backwards world. This is an ass-backwards society, man. And Yahushua is coming, all right, to bring down this whole system, this infrastructure. Okay? A lot of the people finna be removed, returned back to the spirit realm, man. It's gonna be a righteous reset. Okay? Yahushua is coming back with a righteous, all right, reset, man. Okay? So, that was the point, Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you sisters edified. To the next time, say shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Abba Soon, shalom.